Morning, YouTubian friends. Gary with VW Jawbreaker. Had a couple of people ask me, hey, Gary, what engine are you running in Jawbreaker? And I started thinking, why don't you go back to the previous videos? Problem is, the previous videos really isn't one really describing the engine. I actually built the engine before I started recording videos, and all I did was like a quick synopsis, little slideshow video, nothing in decent detail. So let's go check out the engine. Welcome to the engine bay. Deck lids off to make things a little easier for you guys to see. Jawbreaker is a 1641cc engine, which means it's pretty much a stock 1600. However, not stock. We went from 85.5 to 87 millimeter pistons, so it takes it from a 1600 to a 1641. Now the downside of that is the cylinder walls are slightly thinner to allow for the slightly bigger piston. Some people will say, oh, that makes your engine run hot. Dude, I live in Florida. I have no issues with it running hot whatsoever. Now I did use the cool tins, which are the type 3 cylinder tins that go in between the two jugs down below by your pushrod tubes. I'll insert a picture here. Those cool tins help wrap around both jugs and actually help with the cooling quite a bit. Now for the technical
mumbo jumbo
of this engine actually was a ground up build. I started with a case from a friend. I'm running the forged counterweight 69 millimeter stock stroke crank, but it is a forged crank and forged IBeam rods, and all that came from CB Performance. The rods, I actually measured and weighed them and balanced them out to within a half a gram, and the same with the pistons. I actually took the piston, weighed each piston, had to remove a smidge bit of material inside just to get them all within about a half a gram. What that does is when you're running your engine, everything's a lot smoother. Unfortunately, again, I'm in Florida, don't have the machine shops that some of the people out in California do, so I'm not able to send it out and get the whole entire rotating assembly balanced properly like some other people are, not without shipping and all that jazz. And I really didn't want to go through all that. I've had really good luck with just being able to balance each individual piece, weigh them together, and get everything within about a half a gram, and it runs perfectly smooth. So we got a complete forged bottom end here. So again, crank rods are both forged chromoly I-beams. The cam I'm running is a Scat C35 cam. It's nice lift. It's actually equivalent to the Engel 110 cam. So I'm running that in this. Got the lightweight lifters, did the little oil mod on the lifters in between the two grooves. I'm also running stock heads. However, I did fit stainless steel valves in them because you never want old exhaust valves in your engine. They'll break, they'll snap, you'll have problems. And we did do some mild port work and massaging in those heads to help with flow. So, recap: forged crank, forged IBeam rods, 16, 41, 87 millimeter pistons, stock heads. Oh, I'm running high rev valve springs as well. I'm also running the stock 1.1 to 1 rockers, but I did put those on these solid rocker shafts to get away from the wavy washers that have a tendency of breaking and leaving you stranded. Now, if we look a little closer,
reposition, pivot, pivot. Get my fingers out of the way. Yeah, whatever.
Alright, so if you do look, recently I did upgrade to the serpentine belt setup. I am running dual 40 carburetors. They are Webers, not MPs. Nothing wrong with MPs as long as you go through, clean them up, and set them up right. I'm running the, I think it's 29 millimeter Venturis in the carburetors. And actually it's very responsive. If I keep my foot out of it and try not to do 80, 90 miles an hour, if I cruise around 55, 60, I will get 25 miles a gallon with this setup, which is really good for me. Now, the latest and greatest that I just did not do a video on it because, I mean, it's replacing a distributor, is I did upgrade to the CB Performance Magnaspark. Now, I can tell you that that has made a world of difference just out of the box, the way it came. Zero hesitation, smoother idles. This thing just absolutely purrs. Speaking of purring, let me back you up a little bit. Let's fire it up and let you hear it.
There we go. Pivot.
Can you see? All right, hold on. Now, of course, those Weber carburetors do not have chokes, so she is a little cold-blooded. But man, those dual stingers sound good. What do you think? Let's give her some RPMs. Yeah, guys, she's actually done me quite well over the last year and a half, almost 2 years. Yeah, about a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. She's got about 8,000 miles on her. And I tell you what, the biggest improvement lately has definitely been that CB Performance Magnaspark. Thing is phenomenal. Comes with the high output coil, mounted it right back there on the little coil mount that I previously had. Everything tucks in and fits very nicely. I love it. She runs great. She's reliable. Runs very smooth, even though it's got that decent cam in there. Again, that's helpful mostly due to the dual carburetors because it's pretty lopey with a single carburetor. Another thing, fuel pressure regulator. Make sure you run no more than about 2.5, 3 pounds max. If you're going to run the Webers or MPs or anything like that, they are fuel pressure sensitive. I figured it would be good insurance, even though I'm running the stock fuel pump, because my stock fuel pump puts out between 3 and 3.5. So that's the gist of it. So Dan, I hope that answers your questions. Again, this was a subscriber request.
Wow, say that 5 times fast this morning. Coffee has not kicked in.
Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any more additional questions or comments, drop them down below. I'll do my best to answer every single one of them as I always do. For the new subscribers, thanks. I appreciate it. Let's see where this channel goes. Until the next time, y'all be good.